Welcome back to the show. Joining us now, Steve Reed, Medical Data Carrier President. Great to have you here. And welcoming back to the show, Christina Hlusko, CAA North and Eastern Ontario President and CEO. Great to have you back.
Thank you.
Really interesting concept that has just been released earlier this year. If you can
right.
go into kind of the idea behind creating this product, the information it provides, that would be wonderful, because it's a great idea.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. So the idea behind the medical data carrier was really to address the gap between all the equipment that we wear when we're participating in sports, we're at work with hard hats and whatnot, and what happens afterward in the event of an accident. So assuming that the helmet has done its job and everybody's safe and sound in a certain sense, sometimes you're going to be panicked, you're going to be unconscious, perhaps even worse. And the idea is that the medical data carrier speaks for you when you can't speak for yourself.
You have managed to do this on a variety of different helmets. I mean, and you were talking to, when you talk construction workers, you've got firemen that are actually incorporating all of this. So
exactly.
How does it work? And it'll go on differently, or goes on pretty much the same with any helmet?
Right, so we try to get it universally on the left side of the helmet, because that allows us to communicate to the EMS teams where to look for the product when they're arriving on scene. And as you can imagine, for the most part, when we're having injury, the first responder is a good Samaritan. So what this really does, it allows you to help yourself and be participative, if you will, in your medical treatment.
Because you don't always want to necessarily remove the helmet either, right?
Precisely. There's some very specific techniques for removing the helmet. You want to have a very good C-spine positioning. I'm not obviously an EMS technician, but suffice it to say, you're better to just make the person safe and sound, leave the helmet removable for the EMS guys.
So you'd get the package, it would come with all the information, you fill it out, and you're looking at everything. Medical information, allergies,
all of that
where to
sort of
locate
thing.
an EpiPen if there is a need.
Precisely. So it becomes that one-stop shop for all the medical information, all the contact information, so that that first responder can be able to contact 911 and be able to relay some very pertinent information for an efficient and effective triage.
When we look at this, this is traveling A to B for a lot of these people, motorcycle, bicycle, CAA. This was an important partnership for you guys to get involved with.
It really, really was. First off, you know, we're all about making sure that it's not just about the automobile, it's about sharing the roads with the bicycles. This is a perfect fit into that. We do a lot of work right now with Bike Assist. In other words, if there's people who have bikes, part of their calls from a CAA perspective can be to get you home with your bicycle. We've actually partnered with the City of Ottawa with Watch for Bike, so it makes perfect sense. But even from a travel perspective, we've talked about the helmets, but you could be on the road somewhere without family or members with you, and if something like this was on a passport cover, all the information is right there. So it really is about safety, and what really drove it home for us is it's about kids on bikes who may be biking by themselves. It's just, there's so many uses for it, and it's private and confidential. Because a lot of times you don't want that type of information out there, but in this, it's secured and it has to be torn open. So
for you to be able to get to it, and you hopefully not in the situation where it needs to be torn open, but it is there.
For sure.
As of noon today, it's available. So this is kind of a launch too, that people are able to get through these products.
Yeah, we're launching that, and we'll soon be launching our travel version, as Christina mentioned, for passports and everything else like that.
This is a great concept. Parents, anyone like looking for that information. MedicalDataCarrier.com as well if you're looking for more information on the product, and will be available with the help of CAA as well later on this afternoon.